Hi everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. I hope you guys are doing great. What is today? Thursday. Yes, I think I'm like, I don't know what day it is. It's Thursday. Welcome to Thursday. I hope you I hope you're in a better frame of mind than I am. I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. Anyways, hope you are having a fantastic day. Welcome again to Facts and Two Cents. As you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Big Boy Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, the Invictus community. All of us here at Sussex Squad are wonderful, crazy, philanthropic. Pick an adjective you can describe us. Dysfunctional, sometimes loving, and all around wonderful family of Sussex Squad members. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I see 119 of our favorite people are here. Hopefully more of our friends will come. And we have about, 45 in the chat right now. Hopefully more of our friends will come and hang out with us for the next hour or so, or however long we're here. Ooh, I think I'm getting good at fading now. I actually like that bit of fade that I just did there. I'm getting the hang of fading music out. Very, very nice. If I may say so myself. I'm sitting here congratulating myself. Anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I see all my friends are here. Let me see who is in the chat with me today. Let's see who is here. I'm just like scrolling all the way at the top. Okay, Brenda, Elaine, Dory, Annie, Fancy, Rosa, Karen, Emma, awesome moderator is here. Dory and Lorna and Betty. Fancy is here. Brenda said you already. Elaine Parker is here, and Janet and Rosa. Royal Sussex Baron is here. Hey, Baron. How you be, my friend? Let's see who else is here. Scrolling down. Ray Raquel is here, our Two Cents Group member, Ray Raquel and Elaine, our other Two Cents Group member. Yeah. Matilda. See, I think I said Brenda already. Is he Gwendolyn? Betty said Betty already. Oh, wow. Hyacinth, thank you so much for your donating. I haven't even started yet. Hyacinth is donated. I appreciate you, my British sister. Oh, my goodness. It's so funny. I have a cousin named Hyacinth. I hadn't heard that name in quite a while. Well, apart from hers. But Hyacinth, I love it. I love it. Hyacinth is that name, I always think of it in associated with the Caribbean, because it's kind of, at least that's where the first time I've heard it was with my family member, Hyacinth, and she is in the Caribbean. So there you go. Let's see who else is here. Thank you so much, Hyacinth. I appreciate your support. Let's see who else is here. Carolyn is here. Katarina is here. Matilda. Let's see, Brenda J is here. I see myself. Facts and Two Cents is here. I'm here. I'm showing up. Mercedes is here. Hi, Mercedes. And let's see, going down. Beverly is here. Joan. AU95K. Oh, wait. AU, were you the one that told us yesterday about, and I was trying to remember who it was that gave us the heads up that Harry was in Mozambique? I think it was you. Was it you? Correct me if I'm wrong. And I think Lydia called you the Sussex Squad Royal Reporter. I think it was you. So let me know if I'm wrong. But thank you for the heads up. But see, Patricia is here, Lane, Cinderella, Matilda. See, Dory, Patty, Navidi. Hey guys, welcome. My Jones is here. Donna, No Thunder is here. Elizabeth, Sonia, Sylvia, Donna Black, Rochelle, Oh, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all being here. See, I think I said Gwendolyn before, and Gwendolyn just saying hello to everybody. So, everybody, hello from Gwendolyn. Annie is here. Sambi is here. Sambi Aquinda. Oh, I love this name. Sambi Aquinda. I love that. Ooh, very cool. Ruth is here. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Our faves are doing their thing. Again, I was all thinking that they were, hanging out under a tree somewhere. And of course, we know at least one of them is hanging out, or at least maybe, who knows where she is. I am assuming she is under a tree in Montecito, but the other one is hanging out in, as we know, and we learned yesterday, and that he is hanging out in Mozambique, Africa. I'm going to make this bigger so it doesn't just clash with my dad's drawing. Today I realized, I haven't shown a new drawing in a while. So this is one of my dad's abstracts in the back there, but it kind of clashed and everything sort of draws into the drawing. So I'm going to make it big. I'm going to close that drawing out for a bit and we'll get back to it later. But yeah, Harry was hanging out and apparently is still there. I'm assuming, according to what I heard yesterday, it seemed like he was there for 3 days and left. But according to reporting today, it seems like he's still there. And so it's like, oh, okay, whatever the case is, Harry is there as the president of African Parks, which we were, I actually posted this in our community page yesterday. And that was one of the guesses that, that's an African Parks hat he was wearing. There was a debate whether it was the Archwell hat because of that, I guess the A on it. But it turns out it's the African Parks, and we know that Harry is the president of African Parks. So I didn't know anything about Mozambique. I had never seen pictures. I never thought of looking for pictures about Mozambique. Actually, I have a lot of friends from different parts of Africa, but I don't think I have a friend from Mozambique. So I just it never occurred to me to look up. And then I was like, Mozambique, let's see some pictures. And I was like, whoa, oh my gosh. A lot of this remind me of the white sand in my country. And it's just like, the picture, let's see, bottom, the middle picture on the left, it kind of reminds me a little bit of my home country so much. And so I'm like, Mozambique is beautiful. And at least the beaches, and how the tourist areas are in your country. They want to, obviously want to put pictures of the most beautiful parts, the touristy parts, and not so much how the villages are, where the people of the community live and what it looks like. And that's why, and I didn't have a chance to go really investigating. Maybe the next podcast, I'll do a little bit more about what the actual community looks like. So I found this one picture at the bottom, and you can see right at the bottom of Harry and his friend Eric Morer Garand. I guess that's a gentleman that he took a picture in. It actually is a picture from the airport, because you can see if you see the bigger picture, you can see airplanes in the back of it. So I guess that was at the airport. But right under the bottom, you can see a picture of kind of a little bit of the community, where people from Mozambique actually live. Looks very different from, say, the touristy parts where the rich folks will come. And I'm from the Caribbean, so I know those things. When I grew up, where the tourist houses were, they're the big, beautiful ones. Then they're right by the beach and stuff, and then where us, the people who are from there, live, looked a little bit different. You know how that is with a lot of the Caribbean islands. And so, but I, and apparently there is another, I guess it was like a paparazzi. I was like, oh, I guess they're paparazzi in Mozambique. I had no idea. But again, of course, I'm sure a lot of rich and famous people go on holidays there. So of course, they'll have their local people, photographers there to try it. As all paparazzi, you make a living taking photos of rich and famous people, And so they have, and it literally called paparazzi, something paparazzi. So I was like, okay, I am not going to post that picture because it was taken without consent. Obviously, this one was taken with consent because Harry is posing with this gentleman for a picture. And so I felt comfortable using that picture because I know, it wasn't taken without consent. And so, it's just and I love the way how Harry just traveled ninja style. I love it. Doesn't have to answer to anyone. He doesn't have to explain anything to anyone if he doesn't want to. And oh my gosh. And I'm so happy you went because look at that. I'm like, when I go to Africa, I'm going to Mozambique. This is gorgeous. I love this, And so I don't know if there are any Mozambique squatties in the chat or whatever. Please say hello. Let us know you're there, and let us know what's going on in your country, since our fave is hanging out in your backyard. So I will love to hear. And so, like, you go, Harry. And, and it must be so wonderful for him to be able to get back to Africa. We know that's like his second home. Again, to be able to work with African Parks again. Again, he's the president of African Parks. To be able to just get there and get your feet and your hands on African soil and, Harry work a lot. He's done a lot of work. And I think he started, when did he start with African Park? I think either 2016 or something. I should have looked this up and I don't remember. I'm sorry. I don't remember when he actually started with African Parks. I think or at least became the president. I think it's like 2016 or 2017, like something like that. But if you guys in the chat know, or I'm not able to just go online at the second, but if you can educate us all, that would be really, really great. And I'm going to scroll through the chat to see if anyone know in the chat when Harry, Cinderella, of course. Of course. I'm so happy you're here. And plus, I love Cinderella. It's not the first time you've been here, so of course I will acknowledge you. Aww. You are special to me. You are all special, so that's why. So there. But anyway, that just touched my heart. But if you are, sorry if that's a little bit of a side there. So if any one of you in the chat know when Harry started with African Parks, if you can just educate me on that would be really awesome. Again, I forgot to check. Oh gosh, Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. I am so appreciative of that. Thank you, our wonderful squatty. Thank you so much for always supporting us, and I appreciate that. So thank you. Let's see. Anyone know? I'm just scrolling down to see if anyone know exactly when Harry started. Yeah, so okay. Hopefully someone will post it there at some point. But again, I just absolutely love this. I absolutely just love Harry being able to go ninja style. Oh yeah, Matilda's like, no leaks. Yeah, absolutely. No leaks. This is what privacy means. Absolutely. Where you can travel and you don't have to let anybody know. And he obviously posted a picture with this gentleman. So he didn't mind people knowing at this point. And again, whether he's still there or not, I don't know. But it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to be able to have, to be able to own your narrative, that, someone in the palace or whatever is not leaking out your stuff before you have a moment to be able to, to go and feel comfortable and whatever, and make I can't speak, the decision yourself if you want people to know or not. So I love their freedom, and, we all please pray for his safety and security, whether he's on his way home or he's still there, whatever the situation is, that he will return safely back to his family. So I love it. I absolutely, absolutely love it. And of course, Omid Scooby today let us know, because, all of yesterday, we didn't really know, first, I didn't absolutely know that it was African Parks. I thought because, so they had mentioned that he was visiting tourist sites as well. And because we know that Harry has Travelist. So I was like, okay, visit, Travelist is about about tourism. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's about either, African parks, or it's about travelers. Obviously he was wearing the African parks hat, so it's kind of leading towards that. And so, but again, we didn't absolutely know for sure. I'm going to move this little scrolly thing. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and we'll get back to that in a second, but I'm going to move it so it doesn't block what I want to read. And so, Scobie, of course, some of the tabloids had gotten hold of it and all of that stuff. But the great thing about this whole thing is that the squad knew long before the tabloids knew. We were told, we got the pictures and all of that stuff. So it's great to see that now, the tabloids, especially the British tabloids, they have no scoop. They know when all of us know. So we all have the narrative at the same time. No one can dominate it, and nobody have any exclusive or those fake exclusive things. But Scobie basically tweeted out this morning. He says, as already seen in tweets and sightings, Prince Harry's in Vilanculas, I don't know if that's how they say, Vilanculas, Mozambique. A rep confirmed he's there in a role as president of African Parks, welcoming and co-hosting a group of U.S. officials, conservationists, and philanthropists to tour protected wildlife and nature areas. And of course, African Parks, and we know, just in case you don't know, African Parks is a conservation NGO. It's a non-government organization that takes on long-term management of national parks in partnership with governments to save wildlife and help local communities. So they basically take on a park for at least 20 years, and they do all the things that they need to do in the park, and then hand it back to the country or to the government. And a little bit about them. This is from their website. It says African Parks is a non-profit conservation organization that takes on the complete responsibility for the rehabilitation and long-term management of national parks in partnership with governments and local communities. We currently manage 20 national parks and protected areas in 11 countries, covering 17 million hectares in Angola, Benin, Central African Republic, Chad, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Malawi, Mozambique, the Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So obviously he is in Mozambique right now. And, we talked about conservation on here before. I've been very honest about how I feel about conservation. And just for me, I trust African Park because I trust Harry. My feeling with conservation and just seeing some of what happens, especially, we talked about Kenya. We talked about, William's old girlfriend, whose family owns a conservation, land out there in Kenya, and Jekka Craig's family. And actually that's where Harry and the other brother learned conservation was from Jekka Craig's father. And one of my concerns is always that, because when they have these protected land, which is what the conservation, they have these protected land, it's a lot of times curtained off, and the community don't really benefit from it. And that's one of the things. The community cannot even go on the land a lot of the times. It's protected by either the police or guards. The wildlife around, like if you have livestock, close to there, you don't have the access, to a lot of times the water and all of the good, like say the grass or whatever it is that they have. And so a lot of times the community around don't really benefit from these things. And then what happens is that they have like these safaris where their rich friends could come over, and they stay in these lavish huts and cabins and whatever that the local community can't really afford, and they come over and they pay thousands of dollars to stay. And so the owners of these preserves, the owner of these conservation groups, whatever, make millions of dollars, but it don't really benefit the community at large. And so a lot of time for me, when I look at stuff like that, it honestly looked to me like modern day, and that's how a lot of ways it's termed that way, modern day colonization, And so I'm always of two minds. And so whenever I hear like conservation, there's this thing in my heart. And then I was like, okay, I trust Harry with African Boss. I trust Harry. I trust his vision and what they'll do. And they don't own the land like some, for example, like Jekka Craig's father. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of acres of land these descendants of colonizers own, like Jekka Craig's family. And but with the difference with African Park is that they don't own this land. They take care of it for 20 years and then hand it back. And 20 years is a long time. So when I heard this, I was like, okay, 20 years is a long time. But the good thing is that they do work with the government, and they also work with the community to make sure that the community is able to benefit from the park, that whether it's to jobs and housing or whatever it is they're doing, that the community, and that's the one thing they focus on a lot, is to make sure that the community benefits from the parks. And it's something that Travelers also is really focused on, is wherever the tourists they come to, whether the parks or whatever area that is those tourist destinations that they're going to, is that the community benefits. Because a lot of times the rich people in the benefit, but from all that tourism and stuff, but the people who actually live there, the community, don't really benefit. So I know Harry is really focused on that. So the only reason I trust this is because I trust him and how he works on his heart and his love for the people, the communities in Africa. So that's the only reason. Or else I'd be like, what? I don't know. I don't trust easily, especially when I hear things that have to do with rich Americans and rich Europeans, especially British people, especially a bunch of colonizers, or at least descendants of colonizers. I don't trust. And so for me, it's very, very, it's something that I've had to work through. Every time I see it, there's this thing. And then I was like, okay, no. I remember Harry's heart, and I remember his vision. I remember Harry and Meghan and what they're about, and what their vision is, and what their goal is, and what their, the things that they care about, and the people, and how they've cared about people. And that's what makes me trust this. So unless there's, they give me a reason to not trust, just keep it in your prayers, keep it in, again, with anything, stuff happens, and, stuff could get in there. And so the thing about this is, let's just keep it in our prayers, that mission and the goal and the passion they have for the people in the community who live, especially around the parks, that will stay. And so there, but yeah, that's African parks. I mean, and again, people have varying, feelings about these things. But, for me, I've always wanted to be honest with where I am with these things. But again, I trust Harry, and I trust his heart. And, I hope and pray that this stays as it, as what they're doing. Work on it for 20 years and give it back to the people whose land it is. So I like that model where they're not owning these things. So I like the African park model. So there. Anyways, moving on. Actually, let me see what you guys are saying. I was like, hi, my friends. Lydia's here. Hey, Lydia. How are you? Oh, she's saying thanks to Sammy, but I'm just saying thanks to you. So yeah. Let's see. What y'all saying in the chat? You're welcome, Lana. I appreciate it. Information I'm learning as well, so I'm happy to pass it on. John says, no matter what positive endeavors Harry and Meghan undertake, trolls and haters try to badmouth them. They can't stop anything. As with anything, there's always going to be negative, not even just Harry and Meghan, and just anything, it seems, no matter what it is, there's always approve, and there's always people who are like, no, I hate it. I hate you. You know what I mean? There's always, it's the culture we are. It's the way, the world we live in, unfortunately. You could say that I am curing cancer, and there's going to be somebody there who will come up against you. And you're like, but I'm curing cancer. Unfortunately, again, that's where we are. So yeah. Oh wait, what is this about Lydia's niece? Hope she's going well. We love her and keep her in our prayers. Whoa, did I miss something, Lydia? What happened to your niece? Let me scroll up here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be nosy, but I hoping your niece is okay. Huh? That's. I am so sorry. I hope I can't find it. Oh wow! I am so sorry, Lydia. Oh my goodness, y'all. Let's keep Lydia's niece in your prayers. Lydia, if you want to share more about what's up with your niece, you don't have to. Obviously, you don't have to at all. I'm sure, if this is too private a thing, I don't want to, be prying and be nosy in family business, but if you'd like to, but just know that we'll be praying. I definitely will be praying for your niece to get out of the hospital, and I hope she is, have a speedy recovery. So sorry, so much stuff is happening, guys, and so many, people in our lives are being affected in some way or another. So definitely I'll keep her in your prayers. So sorry about Lydia. Wow. Whew, life is hard sometimes. Wow. Litlane. Hi, Litlane. Litlane says, I have been arguing. Oh, Litlane. Oh, no. I have been arguing with some lunatic about why Harry is still the president of African parks. I just told them to mind the UK issues and leave African issues alone. Yeah, absolutely. People sometimes, do need to mind their own business. There's all this crazy stuff going on in the UK, but obviously, let's mind Harry and Meghan's business. But on the other hand, Litlane, please don't be arguing with people. I mean, this is where block and be blessed. Because there's no point to arguing with people who don't want to understand or who don't want to get where the Sussexes are coming from or understand what they do. There literally is no point because you're not going to change their mind. For me, I look at it as arguing with some like a Trumper or something, like one of those MAGA people. That is something I will never do. That is like, talk about throwing pearls to pigs. I would never do that because it's completely waste your time. As I said, it's hello. Don't fight with somebody like that, but I understand this. Sometimes there's just like the temptation to like, how dare you? But it's just, these people are not interested in understanding. They don't care. They just want to hate. So fighting with somebody like that is literally wasting your time. And I don't want any of our time wasted. Mary 8 says, Soju Pedal is not helping Native Africans. I'm mindful as well. I agree wholehearted. Okay, wholehearted. Okay, yeah. I mean, again, the different model with African parks than other, say, conservation groups and stuff like that. Again, they don't own the land. They're not, taking over the land forever. But, think of it how you will. Let's see. Scrolling down. Jessica says that colonialism crap really has to end. It does. It really does. And there's talk about, there's like modern day to all of these things. There's modern day slavery, there's modern day Jim Crow, there's modern day colonization. I mean, there is so many forms of these things that are there to keep Black and brown people down. It's like it just evolves into a new way of doing it, and it evolves into a way where these people make money from doing it. So unless you cut off where they make money from, say colonization, money from mass incarceration, money from, the new Jim, which is the modern incarceration is like the modern Jim Crow movement. All of these, they make money off of these things. And so unless there's a way to cut off the money, this stuff will keep happening, so it just, yeah. It's a lot. It's a whole lot to take in. So let's see. Donna Black says, conservation is just a modern day colonialism, taking African resources from Africa, but I do trust Prince Harry to do the right thing by the people of the country. Yeah, and then again, I feel the same, Donna. I do try, and I trust African Boss because of the mission. I've never heard anything bad about it. All I've heard about it is good, and again, I trust it because Harry has the same motto for this is the same one he has for travelers, in that they really are working to make sure that the people in the communities benefit from that, whether it's from the tourism, whether it's from the parks, whatever it is, they're making sure that people benefit, that their standard of living increase, their job opportunities increase, their education increase. I know that's one of the things with African parks. They have classes and all of that stuff. And again, I'll put the link in the show notes so you can go and read on their website and stuff and see some of the stuff that they're doing for African parks, and making sure that the community benefits from the park, and that they're also able to coexist with the animals in the park, because that's also a big thing where there's a lot, there was a lot of poaching and all of that stuff in several African parks, and which put the rangers in the parks in danger. It also puts the animals, and it also puts the community in danger, and so so it's great that they're able to work and do it in such a way that animals and people can coexist, live happily, and also both benefit from all the natural resources that are a part of the parks, and also that are part of travelers. So I'm really excited to see all that they're going to be doing now that COVID is over. Well, it's not over. I shouldn't say that. It's a little bit less. I think that's part of me that's just wishing COVID is just over, but it's not, as we know. But it's a lot, it's so much better than it was, say, a year ago, and where people are now able to travel and, really go on vacation and have a real vacation. So, yeah. So anyways, moving on, let's just move on. And, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I'm sure you guys have probably heard the story already. I mean, what is it, 2020, that this was one of the last International Women's Day that Meghan and Harry were in the UK. Meghan had gone back. This is right when they were leaving. I think this is probably her second to last or third to last event that she did in the UK. And actually, he got this from Sussex Royal, with their old Instagram account that's still there, I guess, for archival purposes. It says the Duchess of Sussex visited Robert Clack School to celebrate the women of the future, and also to highlight the important role men and boys play in International Women's Day. The Duchess asked a young student to come on stage and share his perspective on the importance of the day. And while so much attention had been focused on his initial comment, which is like, she's really beautiful, isn't it? The boy shared, what the boy shared was compelling and true. And, there's a video of what he shared, and that was so cool. And then, as kids from back in what was this, 2020? And I love this, when they were doing the Unite thing, for International Women's Day. And of course, little boy grew up, and now he is graduated A's, in his, however you say it in the UK. UK, and now he is going on to Cambridge University at Jesus College in Cambridge University. It is so funny. When I first saw the picture of him on the right, that's him all grown up there, I would have never guessed that's the same kid. It's unreal how kids grow up. They grow so fast. I would have never guessed. He looks like a completely different person. And, of course, remember when it happened and he got a hug. And then for like a minute, he was a celebrity and he went on GMB and all of that stuff. That's him with Susanna Reid. And they're all celebrating. And then there was this drama that Meghan, I don't know, kissed him or something, which was completely untrue. And they had like this kind of sick narrative from the top. I'm not even going to go into that. But this kid is so adorable. It's so amazing how it's been only 2 years, and again, his name is Akar Okoye, and it just, again, I'm looking at the grown-up picture there, and it just does not look like the same kid. He is so adult. It's like how in 2 years this kid grew up to be that grown person, and it's amazing to me. And yeah, well done indeed, Akar Okoye. And I'm sure, I know one of the things he was talking, about his mom as well. And I'm sure she's probably so proud. I mean, gosh, how could you not be proud? This young man is going on to Cambridge University. And kudos to him, whatever, and it's so funny. I thought about this school, and I think, one of the things that was around it, I think it was in Dagenham, that school, and Elaine, I think, Elaine, you're from the UK. You can correct me. And who else, Squatty, is on here from the UK. And one of the things was that it was in Dagenham. And I actually have the movie about Dagenham. That's where they had the workers' rights. They had this big protest, and really women led the way to getting, I think it was equal pay. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And I forgot the name, the full name of the movie, but it was something in Dagenham. It was an incredible movie about women protesting, really, going on the picket lines and protesting so that they can get equal pay. And so I just think it was wonderful that Meghan chose this community and chose the school to go and be a part of. So incredible. I am so proud of him. And, I can imagine the other girls who were on the show as the Good Morning Britain GMB as well, who spoke so well about, what it was like to meet Meghan and what it meant to her and what she meant to them. I can also imagine them have grown up. We wouldn't recognize these girls. They were so intelligent. I mean, one of the things we were commenting was just how much more intelligent they were than the reporters who were interviewing them. I mean, they spoke so well. It was just wonderful to hear from them. So it'll be very interesting to me to see what has happened to them, and what their I guess if they received their A's as well, and if they're going on to university, and what university, I would love to hear that. So, but anyways, I all say all that to say kudos to them. And Lorna says, yes, it's called growth spurt, where boys eat you out of the house. And yes, exactly. This is me not having kids, so I don't know this part of it. But she says the boys eat you out of the house and home. They eat everything, and so they just spout up like a tree. It's like, gosh, you poor moms. Yes. Thank you, Elaine. It's called Dagenham. Elaine, do you remember the name of the movie? The name of the movie is what I'm also trying to remember. It's called something in Dagenham or something, and I have it somewhere in my files. One of my friends gave it to me, and it was just a beautiful film. Oh, Coco says, please mention the young man Aker got straight A's and at A levels. Yes, as you can see on the right, he got straight A's at A levels, the British system. That means he got the highest grade That's a real big deal. Wow. Thank you so much, Coco Ambrose, for schooling us on how, Briticism. So the triple A's that you see at the top right, where it says Brampton Manor, Acre received triple A's, and he's off to Jesus College or Jesus College. I don't know how they say it. Jesus College, Cambridge University, to study education. Well done, Ecker. And straight A is wow. That means he got the highest grade. That is awesome. And it's so good to see a young Black man. Yes. And I'm sure the young girls, the young Black girls too, we're like, fingers crossed for them as well. It's so good to see this. So yes, you go, Ecker or Acre, or I think it's Acker. He says Acker. I think is how he says it. I think. So yeah, that is a big deal. So thank you, Coco. I appreciate it. Let's see. Mary's agreeing. She's like, yeah, they do eat you out of the house and home. I love it. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Karen M says, awesome moderator. Karen says, I don't remember anyone that the Sussexes have touched that didn't do good. I'm telling you, when they touch, when they in contact with you, whatever, you always see this kind of results. You know what I mean? And not to say that they had anything with Acker studying and getting his triple A's, but it's just amazing. It's like they're around the most amazing people. They are in contact with the most amazing people, and the achievements of these people are amazing. So I just, it's awesome. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie said the name of the movie is called Made in Dagenham. Exactly. Thank you so much. Made in Dagenham. Absolutely. If you ever want to see a fantastic film, please see that. It is really, really great. Let's see. Dolores says, Lorna, so true. My son shut up and finally stopped at 6'4". Oh my goodness. Now he's an adult in his 40s. Wow. 6'4", that is tall. Wow. I'm telling you, poor moms is like, what happened? Your little baby is now 6'4". So but Annie says, having lived in the UK for a while, there are some really lovely people there. It is the minority that was and still is so cruel to our Duchess. And it's so true. I mean, I am sure that there are, and I mean, some of them are our squaddies right here, right now, that are wonderful, wonderful people. And it's that minority of hateful people. And I guess, we have them here in the US too. It's not just the UK. There's always that group. There's always that section of the population that are like that. And there's not really nothing you can do to change their minds or change, you know what I mean? You just got to hope that your goodness or at least the things that you do that are good, would somehow have an impact that they could see the error of their ways. But, beyond that, there's not a whole lot. So, but anyway, moving on from Acker and his incredible achievements. Okay, you know what? Before we go there, let's do this. I'm testing out new new change music, so you guys can tell me which one you like. Let's see. I see. Let me put up some sound on that. Someone told me they didn't like the other one, so I'm trying this one. So you can tell me what you think of that change music and if it's better than the other one. But anyways, a little bit this is why I needed to change music, because we are changing directions to a bit of the others on Shutter Island. I mean, we've been on Shutter Island because we were in Dagenham with the Robert Clack School, but this is a bit of a change. So we know, and we've talked about this actually a couple of times with the Cambridges moving to Adelaide Cottage. It's so funny they call it a cottage, and it has that connotation that it's this small little this little tiny place, which it is not. No matter how they try to as you can see the headline, which is why I named my podcast William and Kate's Deception. But they're like, no room for nanny as the Cambridges downsize. Maria Barella, who kept on, will be kept on, but she will live elsewhere, leaving the children without living governess for the first time. Miss Barello sometimes travel with them on holidays and has her own apartment at the family Emma Hall property in a San Germain estate. But while she remains a key figure in the children's lives, the relocation to Windsor will usher in a new era for the Cambridge clan. At Adelaide, a pretty grade 2 listed property built in 1831 for Queen Adelaide, the wife of William IV. They will be nestled in the heart of the Crown Estate Park with much more scope for horse riding, walking the family dog, and playing away from prying eyes. The adjoining Adelaide Lodge is unoccupied and no longer habitable as it is built into a hill and was never structurally underpinned. And it's so funny when you read stuff like this, because it has the idea, the Cambridges are downsizing. They are leaving their mansion in London and they're downsizing, and they're going to, they can't even afford to have their nanny move in with them. That's the kind of thing that you get from, royal correspondent Victoria Ward, who lies like I don't even know. What do you lie like? I don't even know. But these people just lie. They just they are so deceiving and so deceitful and just so lying. And you have this idea that, this bold headline, they're downsizing so much. There is no room at all for the nanny. Poor Charlotte and Louis and George, whatever are they going to do? Because nanny can no longer be there. She had her home when they were in Amna Hall, and she had her home in Sandringham Estate in Norfolk, but they've given all that up. And they've moved to this tiny little cottage, this little shack in Windsor Great Park, and no longer can nanny be there. Whatever shall they do? And this is the nonsense that the British press keep feeding the people. And I don't understand why people believe this nonsense. Because they spout it back all over Twitter, and you're like, how can you? And and I could understand when we were talking, I was saying, earlier, I was like, please don't be. I think it was Lynn was saying that she was arguing with someone about, whatever, and you're like, you see stuff like this spewed back at you, and people are like, but they're downsizing and they're not even having their nanny and all of this nonsense, and you're like, how can you believe this stuff? And you want to argue with them, and you're like, you know what? Sometimes you just have to let people live in their stupidity, and hopefully somewhere along the line, the light bulb would switch on and they realize that they are being lied to again for like the 50 millionth time, And it's kind of like, it's so funny they talk about, the property is on the side of a hill. And I'm like, okay, well, this is an overhead shot of Adelaide. And maybe you can't really see the hill that they're talking about. But I'm like, where's the hill? As you can see, there are two buildings on this property. There are two buildings on this little estate, And at first, when they started reporting it, Sussex Squad, us in Sussex Squad were the only ones pointing out that there are two buildings there. Because we started showing the overhead and that there were two buildings, that there are two homes on this estate. from the reporting when they first started that saying that they were going to move to Adelaide, it was just this little cottage. No one was saying that there were two buildings on in this property. And then we started, I mean, all over Twitter, these pictures were popping up, and we were like, excuse me, there are two homes there. What are they going to be doing with the home out in the back? What about that? And all of a sudden now we're getting that, oh yeah, there's the Adelaide Lodge, but it's unoccupied because it's built on a hill and it's never structurally underpinned. And it's like, well, okay, I know this is an overhead shot and maybe it's on a slope and all of that. That could be the case too. I'm not saying that it is, but I'm like, a slope ain't exactly a hill, is it? And from looking at this and looking at, and again, it's an overhead shot, so we're not going to get the full of what it is from ground level. So maybe at ground level, what we're looking at is a hill that's behind the red home that's there, that maybe it's on the side of and built into a hill, but that doesn't look like it's built into a hill from where I'm looking at. But again, it's an overhead shot, so you don't get the accurate what the ground looks like and feel from this angle. But from where I'm looking at, it doesn't look like it's built into anything. And again, they're saying that it's, it's unoccupied and it's inhabitable. I'm like, okay, if I have little kids and I have taught little kids and I've worked with kids from 0 to 6 years old, the one thing I am not going to do is I'm not going to move my family into a place where you have a whole building that is structurally not safe. And if I have money, I am certainly not going to do that unless that building is completely curtained off. And judging from what we saw in little Louis in that little video when, during the Jubilee, that's a rambunctious little kid. I will certainly not move to a property that have a house that is structurally unsound and not expect my kids to end up in that house at some point. I know little kids, especially little 2-year-olds, the minute you turn your head, they disappear. And that, especially a house that is unoccupied, it's like, let's go hide somewhere. Let's go play hide and seek. Oh, let's go into that house where nobody else is. I am definitely not going to move my little kids into a place that has an uninhabitable house that is structurally not sound, unless it is completely curtained off, especially when I have kids that is that age. And judging again from what we saw of little Louis, that for me is disaster waiting to happen. And so maybe I'm just, a little overcautious. Again, I've worked with little kids and I know what it's like to, maybe you parents are in here could tell me maybe I'm wrong, but that is not safe. And so I don't understand why you would want to, again, move into a house where you have an empty house sitting there. And it's like, either somebody is not exactly telling the truth here with that house. So anyway, I'm like, okay. Anyways, talk about that. I am so happy with all their nonsense about moving into this tiny little house where Nanny Maria is not going to have a place. And from the sound of it, it's like, oh my goodness, Nanny Maria is going to be living miles away and she can't eat, the kids will have no access to Nanny Maria, their mother, when, Kate is doing whatever it is, she's doing, trying to make herself look busy, It's like Nanny Marie is not going to even be there. Poor little kids. But then, I'm telling you, I just appreciate the growth of Omid Scobie. I will always appreciate the growth of Omid Scobie because Omid has so come into himself. He doesn't care. And of course, those royal reporters are going after him because he refuses to toe that line. He refuses to be like, okay, let's not say this because we will upset those at Kensington Palace. So Omid Scobie writes his article today, and it's so funny. Every time Omid writes an article, he trends, and he even mentioned whenever every Wednesday now his stomach drops because he sees that it's trending, because he knows that he's gonna have attacks as well as all of us saying thank you, Omid. But Omid is now a regular trend on Twitter. Even in the US, it seems. But anyway, Omid wrote an article today that says why Kate and William are moving to Windsor despite spending taxpayer millions on Kensington Palace. And so this is, it's a long article, but this is some clips I took out from his article. It says, so when the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge announced that they would be swapping a simple life for one ensconced in the country, in the country's most expensive zip code, there was understandably some controversy when it was revealed that the move would also be coming with an eye-watering renovation bill to be picked up by the British taxpayer. Neglected and run-down apartment 1A at Kensington Palace required a number of major changes and updates for it to be brought up to livable standard and allow the couple to add their own personal touches. In 2014, the Sovereign Grant confirmed that it cost over $5.4 million or 4.5 million pounds to complete. At the time, press aides told outlets, including myself, that's Scobie talking, that the costs were a necessary investment as the couple planned to use the property as a permanent base to work and raise a family. This house, they assured, would be their forever home. That is at Kensington Palace. You see at the bottom there, bottom left. And they have apartment 1A that is part of not the entire building, the entire structure, but a large part of that structure. There's a part of that structure that is just apartment 1A with its 20 rooms. That's right. In top right in 2019, the Duke and Duchess added a further $1.2 million or dollars or 1 million pounds to their sovereign grant funded renovation costs at Kensington Palace by installing a new driveway. It was a figure that left many scratching their heads, but was mostly ignored by a section of the press who were more focused on how much Harry and Meghan were spending for their new crib. And we all remember the absolute fury and outrage from the British press and their horrible section of the public that brutally attacked the Sussexes for spending $2.4 million on a whole house renovation. And the sovereign grant, which had already planned to do this before Harry and Meghan even got the property, this was already earmarked. This money and renovation was already earmarked before the Queen gave that property, or at least supposedly gave as a gift to Harry and Meghan. Reminder, any gift the Queen gives you, run away and don't take it, because she allowed people to attack you over it. They attacked Harry and Meghan for the sovereign grant. They're spending $2.4 million to renovate a property, a rundown property, $2.4 million, but nobody cared that William and Kate spent £1 million to renovate a driveway. Nobody said a word. Also, the crypt that is on that property, I think it was 1.4 million pounds that they spent to renovate or whatever they did to the crypt. Nobody said a word, but everybody, because the biracial Duchess is living in that property. Therefore, everybody and their mother had to criticize Harry and Meghan for 2.4 million pounds to renovate an abandoned old house. Anyway, moving on. It says, skip the first part in the middle section on the right. It says, it remains to be seen how the Duke and Duchess will travel to and from London. Their love of helicopter trips, which the British press prefer to turn a blind eye to, are not just an unfair cost to the public, but also completely against William's environmental concerns. I am so glad Scobie put that in there. He goes on to say the move to a smaller property will also see the end of the living staff. Full-time nanny Maria Barallo, their housekeeper and chef will all receive private accommodations elsewhere on the estate, paid for by William and Kate. Again, the article that we just looked at before talked about, the way it sounds like Maria Borello is going to be somewhere, way away, miles away from the kids. And here Scobie is laying it out real and truthfully that on the same estate, the chef, the housekeeper, and Nanny Maria are all going to have private accommodations. Yes, Kate and William are going to pay for it. Yeah, well, sure. Whatever. But again, it's how they twist things to make it look like, Kate and William, they're so downsizing. They notice the article before, never ever put out there. If Scobie has that information that Maria, the full-time chef, and the housekeeper are going to have private accommodation on the estate, if Scobie has that information, therefore, the Telegraph have that information. But the way how they twist it, you would have never known. So if Scobie didn't say it, we all, the moment we saw the housing in the back that they're now claiming is unlivable, the moment we saw that, we knew that or wherever is where they're going to be housing their staff. We knew that because they, again, at first, they didn't even mention there was a second property, as we see at the bottom with Adelaide Cottage. They didn't even mention that there were two buildings on the property until we started pointing it out, and now they're like, oh, it's uninhabitable. Yeah. And then they didn't mention that, yes, not only are they going to keep their staff, is that they're going to have private accommodations, whether it's in the house in the back or wherever else they have another property, which they have a lot. It seems a lot of them at Windsor Great Park. Their staff is going to be right close by. So they're not missing anything. They haven't really downsized in any way. They just have a separate property for separate housing for them, and it's just, again, the way how they lie, and it's so funny because, again, the whole idea of them downsizing, it is nonsense. A lot of people believe that that house in Windsor, the Adelaide Cottage, is actually just for Kate and the kids, and William is actually living at Kensington Palace, and he's, go visit. We've seen at least what could look like two people who live separate lives, and the fact that just, when they went to the Commonwealth Games recently, them arriving separately and all of that stuff, and then meeting up and going in a car together to the games to make it look like they're together. William arriving in his helicopter, and yes, his helicopter car with Charlotte, and Charlotte looks like she have an overnight bag, and then meet up with Kate there at the games. Kate apparently took a train to the games, and so it looks, I have no evidence, and honestly, I kind of just want to, I don't know what their living situation is. I don't necessarily want to get into people's living situations at all, because one, it's really none of my business. And two, it's really just none of my business. So, but, it's kind of weird that the future King of England will leave Kensington Palace and move to a smaller place with a broken down cottage in the back that is uninhabitable, basically putting, unless again it's curtained off, putting his kids in danger. And it's just a weird thing. So it's kind of like everybody's like, something is not, like, 1 and 1 is not adding up to 2 here, and let's not forget, they're talking about downsizing. They're not. They have Kensington Palace. They have Amner Hall, as we can see, all their 4 properties in the bottom. Amner Hall out of Sandringham. Tamnagar, which a lot of people don't talk about, but that's their property at Balmoral, Scotland. They have 4 homes. There's nothing downside. They're just adding another to it. So this idea, this false narrative, this lying, deceitful narrative about the Cambridges, they're downsizing and they can't even afford to keep their housekeeper, is such lies. Lies, 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 lies. This idea, and one of the things they're doing too is like this, trying to appeal to what in the, some in the US call the minivan majority, the majority of middle class people who would, the people who say would would read the People magazine. They are middle class, especially middle class Americans. They're coming to the US. So they want to give this impression that, yeah, we're royals, but we don't live like royalty. Look, we live in this little cottage, which again, little cottage does not mean little. It is a huge property. It's a huge house. I'd say it's a mansion. Probably not on the level of some, say, Backshot Park, which is like 81 rooms or whatever. But this is not a small home, and so how they have the media reporting it is very deceptive. It's lying, and then I'm so happy Scobie talked about they're flying the helicopter. How are they getting back and forth from Windsor to London when they have engagements in London? Most likely that helicopter. And I'm glad he pointed out that most of the press prefer to turn a blind eye to it. They don't want to report it. They want to report on the Sussex is flying. But again, as we know, we talk about it on this, podcast all the time. That's how they fly. Just about everywhere they go, they use it as a car. That's like their own personal Uber. That's why I call it a helicopter car. And now William seems to have two. That burgundy one and the blue and burgundy one, and so again, it's the misinformation, the lies, the deceitfulness, the deception of how they report this stuff to make them look like, oh no, they're like middle class royalty. It's not. It is not. They are not. Say, yes, it may have less bedrooms. Apparently has 4 or whatever it is. They're so-called cottages, but this is a massive property. It's a massive place, and it's just, it comes with its own security and all of that stuff. And, look, nobody can begrudge a family wanting to have more space for their kids to run around and more privacy, whatever. Fine. But don't talk about it like it is this tiny little thing and you're giving up you're giving up your maid, you're giving up your servants, you're giving up your, your nanny and all of that stuff when you are not. It is a lie. It's, I don't even want to call it deceptive. It is just flat out lying to people, trying to make people believe something that is false. It is a lie. And again, they're not giving up anything. They have 4 homes. Wherever they go, they have a home there. So and it's so funny because talk about, Scobie calling them out for things. Robert Jobson actually called even before, back in June, when this whole thing started, when it came out that they're literally moving, because for over a year people have been speculating and saying yeah they're gonna be moving. But when it came out, Robert Jobson said the same thing Scobie said, and Robert Jobson is he is a royalist. He works with them, and he actually leans more to Clarence House with his reporting, his lying reporting a lot of times. But he was even like, scratching his head the same way. He's like, I was told personally and categorically by senior aide to the Duke when millions of public money was spent on KP and apartment 1A for the Cambridges that KP would be their base when William became heir to the throne, and is now is that now changing with the move to Berkshire, which is or the move to Windsor. And it's the same thing. It's like they spent all that money to renovate a 20-room apartment at Kensington Palace. Again, 4.5 million pounds was spent, or $5 million spent on that palace. Now they're like, but it will be our office. You're going to be using the whole 20 rooms as your office, and it's like, and then they're like, oh, but when the kids grow up, yeah, right, and which this is the thing, what leads many people to believe that there's something isn't okay in the marriage, that Windsor is more Kate and KP is more William. Again, I don't know what the truth of any of that stuff is, whether that's the case or not, but it's just a very odd situation. And taxpayers, a lot of wasted taxpayer money. That's what I'm saying. So again, if you want to move and do, that's fine, do whatever you want, but and again, don't lie about it and try to deceive people to believe that, that you're living below the standard that you live in. Meanwhile, you and the rest of the royal family are pretty much robbing taxpayer blind. while being deceitful. So anyway, Judy says the two helicopters are done care what the ordinary two helicopters and don't care what the ordinary person thinks. He is the future king, so he believes that that is his entitlement and his privilege. I'm assuming you're saying like they don't care what ordinary people think. Yeah, absolutely. These people are very entitled. They just feel like they're entitled to any of this stuff, and they really just don't care. That's why they push a lot of that stuff in people's faces. They don't care what the public thinks at all. And it's so wild that they allow unelected. I mean, these people are not elected. Why do you allow it? Unreal. Amy Lewis. Oh, I'm sorry, Ann Lewis. Hi, Ann. Sorry about that. I called you Amy. Sorry about that. Ann says they're trying to proper like Harry and Meghan, or is that prosper or proper? I'm not sure. But let's read on and see what Elsan says. LOL. Those old Masulos, I don't know if that's the word. How do you say it? Monster House will never come close to M&H. Kate knows how to make cocoa. I'm not sure I understand. I'm so sorry, Anne. I'm not sure I understand the cocoa reference. Was that a British thing? I don't know. Okay. I'm assuming you're saying that they're trying to prosper like Harry and Meghan. I guess imitation is better. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. I think that's how the saying goes. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they'd be stupid not to try to imitate them. They'd be really stupid. I mean, anybody with common sense would be like, let's just do what Harry and Meghan does and see if we get the same success. So yeah. Let's see. Donna Black says, she's talking to Gwendolyn. She says, they are too busy trying to keep up with the Sussexes, but they are always miles behind Prince Harry. They're always miles behind Prince Harry. William has always wanted everything Prince Harry wanted. He is a jealous sicko. It's really wild that he's the older one and he's always trying to imitate his brother. And again, it's so, and I think that's why people are always feel the need to prop him up like they do, because I mean, if we saw it, of course they see it. That really, there's nothing there. It's like an empty shell. And he's desperately trying to figure out a way to make it look like he is doing something. And it's not connecting because you could tell it's not his heart, and you could, and it's honestly sad to look at, and then in light of Harry, who just, it's, for him, the best part of Princess Diana just stayed with Harry. Thank God. Thank the Lord. So anyways. Diane says, that was more than hyperactivity Louis displayed. He just needs the right hand of grandmom in his life to explain how to act in public. And model behavior. And I'm not going to get into that whole bit again with Louis. I think we covered that extensively when that whole thing happened. But my concern, again, is bringing kids into a situation, again, which I don't believe, unless they are completely cordoning off that empty, seemingly abandoned house, to bring someone that active into that environment seemed to be very, very unsafe. And so I would hope that, if that's the case, that the house is not structurally sound, that they would, one, knock it down so that, nobody gets injured or something, or completely, cut it off where kids can't go there. Because again, if you have kids and little kids, knowing myself when I was a kid, that would be exactly the place I would go in to try to play with my dolls, or, try to play hide and seek or whatever else. And yeah, so there you go. Let's see. What else what else you guys are saying in the chat? Eileen Moore. Hi, Eileen. Eileen says, it makes you wonder if they're setting up a house for themselves and each child. At this point, you gotta think so. I mean, they got four. So they just need one more. And, apparently the thought is that at some point they'll also be moving into, Windsor Castle when and if, when the Queen passes on. And so when they move into Windsor Castle, then they will have their five, and then each child will have a house. So I guess that's, never mind Windsor Castle has what, over 1,000 rooms. There are people who do workers who do live at Windsor Castle as well. It's a home and working castle. But it sure looks that way. Let's see. Verda Sanchez. Hi, Verda. How are you doing? How are things? Verda says, pray for your enemies as well as your friends and let God take the ring, and he will handle that. A very, very true and very mature way of thinking. Thank you so much, Verda. Very, very, very true. Jessica says, it's amazing the British citizens are not rioting the streets. My goodness, where is William Wallace when you need him? Freedom, absolutely. There's just this apathy that is over all of this, that people are just like, okay, I guess we gotta, when the Queen dies, I guess it's gonna be Prince Charles being king. It's gonna be King Charles and Queen Camilla, and then it's gonna be King William and Queen Consort. Is she Princess? No, yeah, Queen Consort Kate. And there's just this like, okay, this inevitable thing, and nobody seems to care. And so it's like, I'm not in the UK, so I guess I can't care more than that. So there you go. Karen Warner says, they make that move to copy Harry and Meghan USA style homes. Sad at the taxpayers' expense, but the British don't. They enjoy paying the tax while they go hungry. God save the Queen and her family. And so it's a USA style home. I guess. Okay. I guess I could see that could be a style of the US. It definitely, I could see that. I hadn't thought about that. So thank you, Karen. But if the taxpayers, the UK taxpayers are upset, they haven't shown it. So there you go. They sort of just accepts it. Donna says, William is not a leader, but a follower. He's been following Prince Harry for years. Even with Prince Harry walking behind William, he was always been a leader. And that is so true. And that is how you know leaders. Leaders are not appointed. Leaders just lead. They're not appointed. They just are who they are. They simply just lead. And so that is Harry. It doesn't matter that he's a sixth in line. It hasn't stopped him from leading. It hasn't stopped. Gosh, the man is in Africa right now, when we thought he was hanging out under a tree in Montecito. Maybe he's hanging out under a tree in Mozambique or on the beach or something. But Harry has always been that leader. And he's always out doing something, creating something, building something, starting a company. That's who he is. So, yeah. So let's see. We can move on to what else I have. And, I guess we could, let's do this again. So this is the other change music. So you all can tell me what you think. You heard the last one. So you can tell me what you think about this one. All right, so now we have a choice. So the first one I played was called Thunder, and the second is called Know Thyself. So you could tell me which one you rather listen to as a change in music. So I know which one I prefer, but you could tell me which one you rather listen to. But we're changing directions completely. So I saw this. I ran into this article from Bloomberg UK, and it's just like, oh, I didn't even know there was a Bloomberg UK. But there you go. That is Michael Bloomberg, who Prince William. He is actually, I guess, a trustee or whatever for Prince William's Earthshot mess thing that he's doing. And apparently, when William comes to New York, that is who he's going to be hanging out with. So this is the same Michael Bloomberg. This is his media outlet. So again, I didn't know they had a UK branch. I know they have it in the US. Didn't know they had an outlet in the UK. But here we are. It says Prince Harry's electric Jaguar inspired an entrepreneur to consider opportunities of upcycling. And we remember the Jaguar, I guess it's actually Prince Charles's Jaguar that he lent to Harry when he, him and Meghan got married. And we all remember this famous photo when so anyway, so apparently this inspired this car maker to turn cars like that had like old engine, and it was very loud, and emitting pollutants into the air and all of that stuff. And so when they saw that electric car, when they saw this car and realized, it's an electric car, it inspired this, entrepreneur to have this company that that does exactly that creates the car, that they take these old cars that, have this horribly loud engine and turn it into what, this car that Prince Harry had and was using for the wedding. And it says car fanatics fret about the inevitable end of the eternal combustion engine. They're worried that the thrilling roar of a V12 Ferrari will be silenced. What they sometimes forget is that it also means the end of the blaring 7-liter garbage truck engine roaring down the street at 5 a.m. Thankfully, yes. If you're in New York, you're like, oh, yes, those things are loud. Fortunately, a David Beckham-backed company is working to solve the problem of noisy, not to mention pollutant-emitting engines that those old cars had. Lunas, and I think that's how they says, was founded in 2018 with the mission of creating the world's first electric-powered Rolls-Royce through a process it calls upcycling. The famed footballer has a 10% stake in the company. The founding moment for the company was Prince Harry's priceless electric Jaguar E-Type, which he drove to Meghan Markle on his wedding day which he drove to Meghan Markle, or at least with Meghan Markle, on his wedding day in 2018. The eye-catching E-Type sparked an idea in Lawrence, which led him to start Lunas and brought him together with Beckham, who wanted his own electrical classic like Harry. Beckham has become something of a regular customer. He gave his son Brooklyn a Lunas converted 1954 Jaguar in April as a wedding gift. And that is Brooklyn Beckham and his wife, something Peltz. I don't remember what her first name is, but Nicola. That's right, Nicola Peltz. They just got married, and that is them in a car. So not exactly the same, but similar to Harry. But it's just really cool. I mean, I'm telling you, Harry and Meghan just inspire people to do so many amazing things. And I mean, again, this idea for this, to do this upcycling and taking these old cars that, have these noisy engines and is polluting the atmosphere, and upcycle them and fit them with, electric engine. And it's just like, and it's a whole long article that is all in car speak. I just got this one. I tried reading the rest and it hurt my brain. And I was like, I don't speak cars. I'm just gonna, if you guys speak cars, I'm going to put the link in the show notes. You're free to go reading the rest of the articles. It hurt my brain. I just couldn't. I was like, this is too much. I don't drive. I've never driven. I don't understand cars, but this much I understand. So this much I share. So the rest you could read on your own. But I just thought it was just so fantastic that, again, something that Harry and Meghan did, And again, this car actually, I think, belongs to Prince Charles. So, and he is very, I mean, say what you want about Prince Charles. He's been preaching this stuff since, the beginning of time, since back in the Stone Ages, about the environment. And so he converted this to an electric car. And now that inspired, and just that, while seeing, the fact Prince Charles had this car forever didn't inspire him. But just the fact that Harry and Meghan were in this car on their wedding day, minding their own business, it inspired this man to start this company, and now they're making tons and tons of money. I mean, talk about a couple that has made people money, and this is a British company, so British people, and yet again, another set of British people are making millions off of just something that Harry and Meghan has done. And that is the impact. I mean, that you can't buy that in, you can't teach that kind of impact. No amount of, royal whatever you have and titles and all of that stuff can teach this kind of, or inspire this kind of impact. There is something about Harry and Meghan that whatever they do inspire people to do and to better themselves. Like we were just talking about Acre. That's the, you know what I mean? Again, they had nothing to do with him studying for his thing, but it's like whatever they touch, it inspires people. Well, this is a complete separate thing in that fact that it came literally from their wedding day, and it's just, for me, I am just inspired. I am like, this is awesome. I saw videos of their wedding, and I was like, oh, well, this is interesting that someone can look at the wedding instead of focusing on the wedding. They're like, oh, I can do a car that's electric. I can upscale, one of those old cars with electric, and I can have a whole company. And now look at David Beckham has 10% in his company. David Beckham was also at Harry and Meghan's wedding. And it's just like all of them are making money off of Harry and Meghan's wedding. And it's just like amazing. So it just yes, Donna. Yes, Donna, my brain hurt. It hurt my brain. It did. I mean, if you don't speak car and you try to, okay, if you don't believe me, if you don't speak car and you go and read that article and you come back the next podcast and tell me if it doesn't hurt your brain, you tell me. It really does, Answer is 007 Bond Austin Martin. There you go. And so he did have that look, right? Harry did have that James Bond, Mr. Bond look. He really did have that look, and so it's just but anyway, wait a minute. What do you mean you're not having any sound? Hey, I hope that's not sure what you mean there, Gwendolyn, but I'm hoping everyone is hearing me. So please let me know if there's a problem with the sound. I didn't know. So sorry. Do something, turn it up from whether it's YouTube or you. So yeah. Joan says, don't speak car either, nor do I drive. See, there you go. I do neither. So it's just, yeah, it's hard for us who don't speak car. So Rohini says, when is the next James Bond movie? I feel like we could get him a cameo. Come on the squad, we could do it. Come on, squad, we could do it. I don't know what the next James Bond thing is. I have no idea. Are they gonna keep the same James Bond? Like, I don't know. I haven't seen the last few James Bond, so because I'm not really a fan of what the guy is that is the James Bond in it. I'm not really a fan, so it's kind of like, when Pierce, what is his name? Pierce Brosnan, I think his name is. When he was doing it, I really liked it because I like him in it. But honestly, the next time I watch it is when they have a black guy in there or a black woman. She could be the new James Bond. I'm not feeling, I'm like, there needs to be a change. I mean, this is the year 2022. It's time to have a black James Bond. I just, or a woman. That's where I am with that. So next time I watch will be that. So there. Let's see. Who else is chatting? Oh yeah, Cinderella says Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, you go. Pierce Brosnan was a hot James Bond. I like the one that was with him and Halle Berry. That one I liked. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot that part. James Bond is a womanizer in every movie. After a time, it gets boring. I think probably because I haven't seen a lot of them, but now that you say, yeah, he really is. There was that line that, what is it, Money Penny said to him. I was just like, oh, and I'm not even gonna say it. I was like, oh, I think it's a Money Penny. I was like, oh, goodness. It kind of showed that yeah, he really is. Donna says there's talk that about Idris being, and that's Idris Elba being the James Bond, but I have not heard anything about that. Him or what is that guy? The Duke of, what is that show? Shonda Rhimes show. What, the Duke of Hastings. What is his name? The Duke of Hastings. He would be perfect. I don't remember what his real name is, but the Duke of Hastings from that show. I think he would be a good, we've just gone off on James Bond here. Yes, my pick would be, I love Idris Elba, but I'd love to see the Duke of Hastings. That would be who I would vote for. Not sure he'd be interested. Joanne, hey, Joanne says they have a pick. They have to pick a new James Bond. Daniel Craig is the one that I'm not a fan of him, so I don't know. So Daniel Craig stepped down from the role. Oh, he did. Okay. They're currently searching Idris Elba and Henry Cavill. Oh, no. And several others are in the running. Henry Cavill? Ugh, no. Simon Bassett? Who is he? I don't know who Simon Bassett is. Wait, isn't that Simon Bassett with is that the Duke of Hastings' real name? I vaguely thought his name was Simon, or maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Oh yeah, Reggae Jean Page. Yes, that's him, the Duke of Hastings. Yes. Irene agrees with me. Reggae John Page. Absolutely so handsome. I like him. The Duke of Hastings. Yes. It's Simon Bassett. Okay, it's the same person. Yes. Because I vaguely remember him being called Simon. There you go. I think we have chosen our James Bond. I think Reggae John Page is it. Jessica's in agreement. Yes, I'm an old lady. I wouldn't mind joking at John Page. Reggae John Page. Yes. Gabby's like, reggae, yes. Oh, really, Tom? Kathy's, wait, hang on. Bonnie is saying reggae or Tom Hiddleston? Who is he? I don't know who Tom Hiddleston is. Oh, you know who would love this. Nacho could play James. Wait, Church Nelly, are you here? Church Nelly would love this. Wait, I didn't see Church Nelly today. Are you here? I don't think I saw Church Nelly. Church Nelly would absolutely love this. Hey, Nacho would be amazing. I don't know if Nacho could act, but hey. He'll be like, I don't have to act. I could just flip my hair, and look gorgeous. So yeah, I could totally see that, But anyways, we're just having fun with the new James Bond. So see, I think we've hit upon our James Bond. Yep, Gladys is in agreement. C-Mac is in agreement. I think we have hit upon it. So reggae it is, or for Church Nelly's sake, Reggae Jean Page. Verna says, Nacho, I don't know if he can act, but he got the look. It has some delicious, and he looks delicious. Sorry. Yeah, Church Nelly's going to fight you. But yeah, amazing. Elaine, switching channels. Elaine has gone back to Kate and Williams said, oh, she's talking to Algotha. Their homes on Balmoral Estate and Amna Hall belongs to them. The other two are part of the Crown Estate. Absolutely. We will move on. We'll move away from that and go back to Jonesing and Nacho, and Church Nelly would be in hog heaven. She surely would be in hog heaven. She'd be home sipping her moonshine and everything, enjoying Nacho being the new James Bond. Oh, Tom Hiddleston plays Loki in the. Oh, that's who you're talking. Okay, Tom Hiddleston. Okay, Huddleston or Hiddleston, whatever his name is, plays Loki in the Marvel movies. Okay, I know who that is. Okay, nah, not feeling him. nah, not feeling him at all. Could be. I'm sure some people were like, yeah, Tom, but I'm like, no. But it says, I'm just looking, George Nelly. I'm just looking. I promise I won't touch. I think Delphine will have an issue there as well, you know. Helma says, I don't like Daniel Craig's Jane Bond. The other Bonds are effortlessly elegant and smooth. I think that's the thing with Daniel Craig. I think there's just a roughness about him that, you know, that I was, I guess, used to the smoothness of James Bond. Like the others play him, they fight and they do all things, but there's a smoothness and a curve about them that when I saw the only one that I seen with Daniel Craig, it was just this roughness that I was like, I'm not feeling that. And so I just can't with Daniel Craig. Yeah. So yeah, not my favorite. Let's see. Okay, let's move on. We have enjoyed this one. We are gonna be the casting directors. They need to hire us to cast this, because we are the people and we know what we like, you know. So there, definitely. Cinderella is saying the same. She's like, I'm not a Daniel Craig fan either. So there you go. Gladys says, hi, Pedal, Duchess of Success squaddies. Wait, Duchess of Success is here? Moderators, pray all is well. Hi, Gladys. Hi, Anne. Did I miss Anne in the chat? I don't see her. But maybe I'm just scrolling too far. So, Anne, if you're here, hi, how are you? Oh, Gail has some ideas. Sam Hugan from Outlander. I don't know who that is. I've never seen him, so I don't know. I couldn't speak on him. So, but if Gail says yes, Gail says Sam Hugan. So if you know who he is, okay, that's one. Cillian Murphy would be a good James. Would be a great Bond. I don't know who he is either. Oh gosh. Are they movie actors, television actors? If it's television, I don't know, because I don't watch television, so I don't know television actors. But okay, those are some, you know, if you know who they are, they're great ideas as well. Let's see who else. This is fun, actually. Us casting the next James Bond. Vetty says, guys, are you getting my comments? Well, yeah, I just got this one, Vetty. I'm not sure what's happening, what's going on with my phone. It's switching to back and forth to different channels. I don't know why that is, but, well, obviously, I just got this, Vetty, so I got you. I see you. I didn't see the other comments that you make, but I'm happy you're here. Oh, also, there are 3 people that I know that, oh shoot, and I don't have their names, but that I understood were having problems commenting. I did the fix today, so if you have any problems commenting, I did all of you who were having problems that I know of, so I did a fix today, so please let me know if you're still having problems. I'm hoping that it fixed it, and I definitely entered your name as, so that way, and that, yes, you're an approved person to be able to comment. So hopefully that fixed everything. So again, If it's not, please give me in the regular comments, let me know what the deal is with that. Okay. So all right, so oh, Donna says Prince Harry took acting lessons in school so he could play the next James Bond. Hey, there you go. I didn't know this. I did not know that Harry took acting lessons in school. So there you go. But again, we've seen Harry act. So yes, Harry can act. So that would be a good idea for James Bond. There you go. You know, Shutter Island will fall over a cliff if their prince, royal family member, is the James Bond. But again, the Queen did a little bit of, she did a little James Bond spoof. So it's not outside the realm of possibilities. So there you go. Rohini. Rohini says, I mean, Harry has more hair than Daniel Craig, so that Daniel Craig do. He could at least be like an extra. Rohini, this is so bad. This is so bad. But I love it. I love you. But actors are known to wear hair pieces, so there you go. Oh my gosh, I saw this picture of this actor, I guess, for some film. I guess he's probably was the lead actor. They put on a wig on him, but forgot, how they some wigs you put it on and they have the, when they put it on, you can't tell it's a wig because it has that sort of invisible thing. And I guess they forgot to, before they did the photos, they published the photos before they did the touch up, and you can see the invisible part of his head. And so it was a big thing on Twitter. It's like, oh my gosh. So yes. Oh, Elita, you're fixed. Yes. Somehow, Elita, you ended up in my block list, and I don't know how you ended up there. And I went searching. I was like, oh, how did she end up in here? I know I didn't put you there. So I don't know how you ended up in there. So I am glad you're here back commenting. So I hope everyone else that I fixed is back to commenting. So that is awesome. All right, so let's move on. We have had a lot of fun with this. Thank you guys for indulging our yes, and the Queen did the cameo with Daniel Craig for the 2012 Olympics, and that's when I actually liked the Queen back then. So at least she was funny in that thing. I don't know that I liked her, but I liked the skit that she did, and I thought she was very funny, and she was really good in it. So so yeah, she did that. So if Harry, if Harry is in James Bond, nobody can say a word because Queen Betty did it before. So there you go. Moving on, just something completely different. Invictus games. I'm telling you, the amount of people whose lives have been impacted or changed or saved by the Invictus games is amazing. This is just, this lady, and I had never seen her, and I just saw her post on Twitter today, or was it yesterday? I saw this, and I bookmarked it. But she says, 4 years to the day since I last tweeted, 4 years of recovery, and today I did my first ever 8K run. Still rocking my We Are Invictus Team UK top as a reminder of how far I've come. Never underestimate the power of sport. And there she is with her medal, her Team UK I Am Invictus medal, and there she is on the hospital bed. Now, I was in a rush when I remembered this, and I pulled it in really fast to do this. So I don't even know what her history is. I don't know what her background is. So I'm going to go in there and find out in next podcast. Hopefully I'll be able to share it. But I was just so inspired by her, and just, again, 4 years ago, look at where she was, in a hospital bed. And, today she is running, at least yesterday, she's running her first 8K. She's doing her first 8K run. And she talks about the power of sport, which is really about Invictus. And I'm telling you, Invictus has saved so many people's lives. in so many ways. And that's why it's so important. Again, I put the links in the show notes. If you know anyone who have a military background, who are vets, no matter whichever war they served in, whatever, please, 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 whenever you come back, as I'm sure vets who are in our chat, who are in a part of our community, can tell you, the person that goes off to war or whatever, it's not who comes back. There are always some issues that are going on. There's some things that comes back, whether it's physically or mentally, wounds that you can't see. There is something, and Invictus has been able to help in so many ways. And again, there's so many things that are part of Invictus that is not just the games, not just the Invictus games. There's so many different programs that they have that can help people so much. So please, 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 if you know anybody that can benefit from these programs, please share it with them and have them contact Invictus. Invictus is all over. So wherever city, country, whatever they are, they can benefit from these programs. So absolutely, absolutely amazing. I was so inspired when I saw this. I'm like, I don't even know her background and all of that, but I just wanted to share because I was just so inspired by her. So kudos. And you guys, again, Sussex Squad, we have gone up. People are still giving. Awesome. The campaign is going forward. We are at $32,050. So again, thank you all so much who have donated, who are thinking of donating. Again, even if you can't donate financially, please share it. Please share it with your friends, family, boss, company, whatever. Please share it so that people around can, be a part of it and help raise funds for Sentebale. It'll be really interesting to see if Harry is going to be in either Botswana or Lesotho, visiting his other brother, Prince Cecil, out there. I would assume, since he is in Africa, that that may be part of what of his trip. I don't know. I don't even know if if he's left Africa and he's back in the US. I have no idea, and we don't know. But, it'll be just wonderful if they, reunite. Again, people are just coming out of COVID. So I don't know what the situation in Lesotho or Botswana is at the moment. So, but it would be amazing. I would also not be surprised if the whole family is in Africa and Harry just, left them and is going to different parts like they did when they were on the South African tour. I wouldn't be surprised either. Actually, I would be surprised if they actually had Montecito. So it'll be so great, for them to introduce Africa to baby Lily, as they did with baby Archie when he was only a few months old when he went to South Africa. So who knows? But I am just, again, thank you all so much for your donations to Sentebale and to all the other organizations. I know a lot of people have been also donating to Wellchild. Wellchild have, they have these trolls that had gone after attacking, I'm not even going to get into it, but they've been attacking the charity. And so a lot of squaddies have been donating to them as well. If you have the means to, we talked about Wellchild in our last episode. The links are there if you'd like to donate to them as well. That is there. I mean, there is a lot going on. There's a lot of ways that we can be of incredible service to others who are in need. A lot of ways to donate, to give back in any way. And, thank you to the Sussex Squad community for doing such an amazing, amazing, amazing job with this. So that's all I got, guys. That's it. Let's see. Let me jump in the chat and see what you all are saying, and before we end. But I am just I'm so Jones on this 007 casting. Rohini says we need Invictus participants to do the nominating. Nominating for there's another thing, says Rohini. Yes, Prince Harry totally deserved the Nobel Peace Prize. We talked about this when after The Hague, there's I think it was a writer, and she was at I think she runs a library or something like that. She mentioned Prince Harry being nominated for a Nobel Prize, and I definitely was like, yeah, totally. And so, yeah, I would be totally on board for this. And it's saying, yeah, brilliant idea, but the Nobel Peace Panel need panel to carry out the nomination. Okay. So however they do it, I don't care, but I would be really happy to see Chef Andreas from World Central Kitchen, and I will also very much happy to see Prince Harry nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, hello. Let's see. I'm scrolling down. John Garcia says, Harry, Meghan, and the children are just enjoying their lives. Haters can kick rocks. Yes, and I would say pound sand as well. I'm telling you, the best revenge is to live well. And I'm so happy that they're doing that. And may the Lord protect them as they do. Let's see. People I didn't. Oral, I don't even think I saw you today. Hi, Oral. Oral says, there are no leaks in California. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. People in California keep their mouths shut, and I love it. Donna says GBN, I don't know who they are, GBN channel is losing supporters, so the channel may be in trouble. Okay. Wait, is that GB News, the new crazy channel that's completely all about attacking the Sussexes? Is that the one you're talking about? I didn't know they had a lot of viewers to begin with. But hey, I'm telling you, I am all for them going out of business, if that's who you're talking about. Let's see. Sylvia Dixon, I don't think I checked in on you today. Sylvia says, then we would have to nominate whoever started Warrior Games. Actually, absolutely. There's Warrior Games, and also what is the other games? Special Olympics as well. Yes, because Warrior Games is the where Harry got the inspiration to start Invictus Games, because at Warrior Games he was like, wow, we could do this for veterans, and so and do it worldwide. And so and it's so funny because now Invictus Games has eclipsed Warrior Games in world standing and world, at least even in publicity and attention and stuff, obviously, because Prince Harry, his global stature is does that. Gwendolyn says GB is Dan Wooten's apparently a big investor is divesting. I don't understand why they invested in the first place. I would never understand that. Why they would invest in that in the first place. It's investing in hate. So if it goes down, kudos. I think the same could go with, his Dan Wootens and his other garbage twin brother. The same could go for both their channels. I am all for that. So let's see. Don't even think that Vile Racist channel is still didn't even think they're still broadcasting. They're still broadcasting, but hopefully, as we are been told that they're it's dwindling. I mean, good. It's a thing where people got to understand hate is, when hate stops selling, and hopefully it seemed that way, that it's no longer selling as it used to. So good. I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. I am scrolling up. Gift Love. Hi, Gift Love. Gift Love says, Squatties are the best. They are. Squatties are the best. Absolutely. I completely agree. Let me scroll up to see who else I've missed. I'm trying to see who else I didn't, whose comments I didn't. Etta James. Etta says, hi, Pedal, 2016. And then he became president in 2017. Great as usual. Okay, so Ida, I'm assuming it's Etta, says Harry became I'm assuming this is what we're talking about, Etta, that Harry became a part of African Parks in 2016 and became the president in December 2017. So thank you so much. And I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. But yes, so Harry being the president of African Parks, I'm telling you, I love our community. Is so intelligent and so well informed. I love it. Thank you. Let's see who else I didn't get to, so we can Marjorie M says, Rohini, maybe we can petition the person who makes the suggestion for the Nobel Peace Prize. Go right ahead, Marjorie. I'm all right there behind you. Absolutely, go right ahead. Because I believe Prince Harry and Chef Jose Andres from World Central Kitchen and definitely, I could also see, them probably pitching, I don't mean that, Ukraine's president as well. I could also see them, him being one that they put there. So I don't know. But my pick is Harry and also Chef Andreas. So let's see. Aoma says, I'm a James Bond fan from childhood, but tuned out after the first Daniel Craig one, Casino Royale, walked out of the cinema in protest. Oh, this is dramatic, Aoma. It was that bad? Oh my goodness. I guess it's, again, it is it's like one of, I'm trying to change my music to, something different. And it's kind of like that because when you do a hard left, and that's what I feel like with Daniel Craig. For me, it's a hard left from the other James Bond that I'm used to. Like, for example, Pierce Brosnan has curves in the sense of he's a fighter, but he's a fighter, but a lover. So he has that, balance. And for me, Daniel Craig is all fight and he doesn't have that curve where he has that balance. And for me, it's just a hard left. And it's like, it does that, like, it's almost like a finger and a chalkboard kind of feeling. And so I'm like, so I can understand that. I mean, I don't know that I'd walk out in the cinema in protest because if I pay my money, which is very expensive in the US, I want to get my money, but I understand the sentiment and I feel you right there. I totally feel you. So let's see. Verna says, I think Prince Harry would be a leading man and Princess Meghan would be the leading woman. That would be who we child. Oh, I'm assuming you say who we choose. That would be funny. And Shutter Island will definitely go over the cliff for that one. Absolutely go over the cliff. Beverly, oh good, Beverly says she's able to get through today. Yes, it's working. Yes. I'm happy to hear that, Beverly. I am happy you're here. Let's take a couple more before we go. Who else did I not get to? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to quickly go through to see who I did not get to today. And so a lot of us could get heard. Our comments could get heard. Okay, so I'm going to warn you for the next episode. I would like to do an all call-in episode next time. And I mean, but I need you to promise me you're going to call in. So please, so the next episode, everyone who is thinking like, I'm shy, I can't call in, get over your shyness. I am probably one of the shyest people in the world. I was, at least. And so I understand the feeling. I understand it's something that I battle every single day of my life, even coming on here. And I've done so many of these lives now, but you wouldn't believe every single time I do one, I have to battle my fears. I have to battle I have always have had an issue with speaking, is public speaking, doing stuff like this is terrifying. And you would think with all the ones I've done so far, I would I would be used to it by now, but I'm not. And for something in me tells me that it's something that I may be having to battle for the rest of my life. And so I understand the fears. I understand because I battle it every single day. But I would love to have one where all of us, as many of us as possible, call in and share. So I'd like to do that next episode. But I don't want to be left hanging and be here like, please call in. But I'd like for, I'm giving you a day notice to, think about it. And, I'd love for you to call in and we can have an all call in. So I'm not the one sitting here talking the whole time. I think I talk way too much anyway. So I'm putting it out there for next episode, which will be tomorrow. So I would love, and I'm sure everyone else in the community would love to hear your voice as opposed to mine tomorrow. So anyways, last one. Let's find the last comment and we will end it. Let's see. Diane says, I don't have a fear of speaking, but I always get feedback or echo from the microphone. I don't know how to correct it. Oh, okay, so Diane, what you'll have to do when you call in is you just have to turn down what you're listening to. So if you're listening to it on your phone, whatever it is, you just got either have to turn it off or turn the sound down. So that's why we get the echo. So that's how you fix that. So whatever you're using to listen to the show, turn the sound down or turn it off and then call in so that you're not hearing that echo and we're not going to get that echo. So try it tomorrow and we will see. And we will fix it together. Use the headphones, by the way. Definitely you would need headphones to make sure that that is not happening. Oh, Saima says Harry is already James Bond in Barron's video. I missed that video, so I'm gonna go back and watch Barron's to see Harry. To see Harry as James Bond. I missed it. So good. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Let's see. One more. Joanne says, ladies, if you follow the story of Bond, he is evolving and entered a dark period. That's where Daniel Craig came in. He totally owned the part as dark, butt-kicking Bond. Oh, okay. I guess I didn't know the story of Bond. I just know he doesn't have curves, and I love curves. So I guess I missed that. Thank you, Joanne, for the education. See, that's why we have an educated community. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Joe says, but a lot of people will tell you that they have stage fright too. Yeah, it's very common. Stage fright is a very, very common thing. Actually, there's a study about, the thing that people fear most in their life. And public speaking or speaking like this is one of the biggest fears. It's actually ranks number one ahead of death. So there is always this fear. But we can conquer it together. Just know that we are in a safe space, a very, welcoming space that what is the worst that could happen? Nothing. No one here to say anything hard. There are no trolls here or anything. I know for me, I remember my first live, I was terrified. You guys saw my first live. And then the first time I came on using this platform, StreamYard, I will always be grateful for Lydia, because if Lydia wasn't here, I don't know what I would have done. I was terrified. And every time I saw Lydia in the chat, it was like, okay, Lydia's here, I could do it. Okay, Lydia's here, I could do it. Okay, I was petrified. A lot of you were here the first time I was on this platform. So I was battling my fear of doing a new platform that I didn't know. I didn't quite understand. There were so many things I didn't know. And so, but you guys were so welcoming and so loving and so supportive. And now, even though I have what's called pre-performance fear. I've always had it, even as an actress. I mean, when I would go on stage, I would go to the bathroom about TMI here. I'd have to go to the bathroom like 20 times. I would drink so much water because my mouth was always dry, which still happens before I start every show. And so again, it's something that I think I would be battling it for the rest of my life. It's just something that's there that I always panic. And so I know and I feel that. And again, if Lydia wasn't here for my first, especially on this using StreamYard, I don't know what I would have done. I was panicking. The only time I was calm is whenever I saw Lydia. I was like, okay, Lydia's here, and I was always grateful for that. So again, that helped me. And again, you guys were so comforting and loving and supportive. And so that's why I know if you come on here, it is the same supportive space. It's the same people, so let's do it. Let's try it. And we can all overcome our fears together. So it's not just me for a change. So yes. So that's my little spiel. I look forward to the show tomorrow. It'll be great. We will have fun. And thank you guys so much. Thank you, Joan. So anyway, guys, let me put my little banner on. Thank you again to our awesome moderators who are here. Lydia, Karen M. I think Julia Rock is in the chat as well. Cookies and Cream. Not sure where Church Nelly is today. I'm gonna be out hanging out, drinking some moonshine somewhere. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Thank you for indulging in the James Bond casting. I appreciated that. That is fun. But anyways, thank you. So as the little scrolly thing says in the bottom, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. And also, in order to comment in the chat, you will need to be subscribed for at least a week, or at least over a week, so that we've done that so that we can get rid of the trolls. It seems to be working, so that's awesome. Please like and share the video. We are trying to build this channel, so please help us. To build this channel, join our channel. Thank you so much for those of you who have joined, who are supporting the channel monthly. Thank you for those of you who, in our chats, you do the super chat, you do the super stickers, you do the super thanks at the bottom of the video. Thank you all so much for your support. I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys for hanging out with me again. I look forward to seeing you all and chatting with you tomorrow. But we're gonna end it now with a little bit more of our closing inner space music. Here we go. Thank you guys. I love you all. I will see you all mañana. I will talk with you mañana. Thank you. Bye.